What it do, Kripple Krew? EDC with DBD, disabled but deadly, back with another South African Saturday special. We welcome back our friend Francois Massyn, fresh off his first Blade show. Good morning, my friend.
Hi, DVD. How are you guys doing?
I'm well, thank you. And yourself?
I'm doing fine. Recovered from the jet lag and all that. So Monday back in the workshop again, eh?
Yay. Jim Cox, member Kripple Krew Inc., was the first one in the chat. He might wake back up. Henry G., member Kripple Krew Inc. Marco, what's up, homie? We have El Capatic, member Kripple Krew Inc. War Room EDC, original member of Kripple Krew Inc. What's going on, brother? So, War Room got to check out the table at Blade Show. Jim Miller, member Kripple Krew Inc., good morning. And War Room was blown away by your knives, my friend. Yeah. He came away highly impressed.
Before we carry on, let me just say a word of thanks to everybody who visited me at the table and the support I got. Did a couple of videos. Chris came to visit. There's a couple of guys who came to visit. I don't know I can't remember all their names, but thanks a lot for all that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, the shout out to the Kripple Krew for showing support. That's great. I'm glad to hear it. Kane Miranda, member Kripple Krew, good morning. Be Shady, what's up? Tell TKE I said what it do, homie. I didn't get a chance to pop in there, so tell him I said what's up and good morning. Henry G, member Kripple Krew, good morning. So, how did your first Blade show go? How was the experience?
DVD. I've done some shows in South Africa.
Yes.
It was actually an eye opener. You know, it's vast, eh? It's big. Our biggest show in South Africa probably does 80 exhibitors. So it's big.
Yes.
It scares you now. It actually scares you how big it is.
Almost feel like you disappear into the sea.
Yeah. I basically put it to guys. I feel like I don't feel like a fish, one small fish in the sea. I feel like a sperm cell in the sea. Just wobbling around and with no way to go or nowhere to except for the streams taking you.
Yeah.
So, but it was a very good experience. I learned a lot. I don't say I learned everything, but I learned a lot. I saw how that show works. Totally different to what our shows do in South Africa. We only get one purveyor at our guild show. The other shows don't have no purveyors at all. So it's a total different setup. You don't sell there. You don't sell. If you sell 3 to 4 knives over the table per day, you are doing well. If you don't use purveyors, you will fail at that show completely. That's my way of looking at it.
That's hilarious, Marco. But yeah, that's how. So speaking of, how did sales go for you?
On Saturday I was down in the dumps. Then I sold 3-4 knives. I sold 2 knives over the table, and I sold 3-4 knives to purveyors. And then the same jumped up a bit. The happiness went a couple of levels up. I've laid out a lot of money to go there, and you're not selling knives. You're going back in debt.
Sure. Not only that, but What's up, KSK? I'm sure you also. I mean, you're selling your product against all the other product there,
No,
and you
that's it.
do, as a person, you want to know that your product is doing well. You
Yeah,
want to know that your stuff stacks up, that people there want to buy it. I get that feeling, and I'm
but
sure it feels a lot better when people start picking up your product and buying it.
yeah.
Besides just the monetary part.
No, you feel a lot better if people start, if they start moving off the table, you see people like them. You get
Yes,
guys, I left a couple of knives on consignment there, and we'll see if they all sell on the consignment setup. I've had an excellent show. I took 28 knives there. I sold, I think, five of them, and the rest I left on consignment. I brought 10 knives back. Only one flipper came back. Oh, two
that's
flippers came back. So I'm
that's
quite happy with what happened. Eh?
yeah, that's really good. That's awesome, especially for the first show.
For the
Nine
first show,
Finger Knives, what's up?
I'm very
William,
happy.
that's awesome. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No problem.
William Hornbostel, member Kripple Krew Inc., and Neil to the Mac, member Kripple Krew Inc. for 7 months. Here's a TRM salute for the OG status. 7 months is an original member. And I'm going to take that brief pause just to pull this nice little knife out of the sheath and set it there so people can look at what the next giveaway is going to be. Not today. Not today, folks. Just laying that out there for now. We'll pick it back up later. Just letting people see what's coming as a giveaway. The TRM salute and sticker should give y'all a little bit of an idea of what that is. But so here's the $1 million question is, did you buy your table for next year?
Yes, I did.
Awesome.
Yes,
Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. That means
yes,
you're coming back. And
yeah, so definitely. But there's a lot of things that people don't tell you before you go. Eh? We had a fair amount of trouble with Fish and Wildlife. Personally, not, but the guys in our group had a fair amount of trouble with Fish and Wildlife.
how so? Because of scale materials or
Yeah, scale materials, not so much scale materials, pouch materials, sheaths.
really?
Yeah. So the one guy had crocodile skin on his sheath. Definitely no at complete. Ray skin, definite no. They confiscate. Even ostrich leather.
Which
Now,
is crazy because all of that stuff is sold here.
yes. I'll tell you the rest of the story just now. What was the next one? There was four sheaths that got confiscated. Four types of materials got confiscated in that setup. The guy he was in a race because now he's sitting with knives, 15 knives without sheaths. How do you sell a knife without a sheath?
That's nuts. And
So
you lay out all that money, like you said, to go there with the
yeah,
intention of selling all this stuff. And they confiscate your sheaths. You got to try to
yeah.
sell knives with no sheaths, and you don't even get the sheaths when you go home.
You don't even get them back. Yeah, they get destroyed.
That's so ridiculous because those are all materials that are sold here.
Yes. Okay, let me tell you a little story. Me and a friend, we're walking around the tables, and a guy picks up I see a piece of wood, and I pick it up, and I look at it. I said, "This is the most beautiful piece of African blackwood I've ever seen. The guy says, yes, it's an African blackwood bowl. It looks like it's got silver insides. That's how the bowl is. I tell him, I can buy this from you. I would love to buy it from you. But once I've bought it, it will not see America again. So where did you get it? No, it comes from Africa. So,
So
how do
you can't bring it or sell it to us, but he can order it here and sell it and have it and sell it there.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Totally.
Matt Yako, member Kripple Krew Inc. Kathleen Smith, member Kripple Krew Inc. Good morning. Jason Beecher, what it do? And Kane Miranda did have a question. Are you making any more straight razors?
Yeah, that one that I sold there, I made in 2021. It's been lying with me for a long time. I can, if a guy really wants to place an order, but it's not part of my general knife making portfolio. It's something I make when I feel like doing something else. But if a guy wants one, we can always talk and I can make one. So it's not a problem.
Folks, check out that EDCwithDBD.com link. That is Matt Yako and 1931 Leatherworks, also known as Terry. They're selling, you can get your Matt Yako Hanks there. You can get your tubes of matte wax. Matte wax I'm using on all my knives now, and it works just as well as Wicked Wax, but you can get a tin this size for less than a tin this size. So Matte Wax and Matt Yako Hanks at that double wide EDC, as well as leather work from Terry. There's wallets, stuff like that. So check that website out with EDCwithDBD.com. It's also in my affiliate or my homie links. So did the horses and the bamboo knives sell?
The horses sold. The bamboo's on consignment. It'll sell.
Nice.
I've got no problem. The horses sold.
Yeah.
One time. So I've got but the bamboo I left on consignment.
Yeah. Which stores took stuff on consignment?
African Custom Knives took some knives, and then the high end knives that the ones with the engraving I left with A.G. Russell because they do a catalog.
Okay.
So A.G. Russell's been going for years. So
And African Custom Knives, that's a site that I'll have to take a look at. I don't think I've ever looked at African Custom Knives.
I don't know. I've done business with them years ago. Yeah, 2016 I did business with them. And then when I cut down my production, then I stopped supplying them. So they're quite happy to take my knives on again.
That's awesome.
And Arizona Custom Knives also bought some knives.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. They sell a lot of custom stuff.
Yeah.
EDC member for 7 months, OG status. Give that TRM acoustics. Just slaps. And we'll take that chance to show the knife that'll be in an upcoming giveaway with this awesome Matt Yako Hank. And Jim Cox gifting 5 memberships. Big shout out to Jim Cox. Thank you for the salute. I'm pulling up the other screen to see who got the memberships. And we have Scott, One Moon Collective, Daddist Outlaw, Josh Branson, and Michael N. all receiving memberships from Jim Cox. Thank you, Jim Cox, and welcome new members to Kripple Krew Inc. Everybody show them your awesome emojis. Somebody said Aldo's Pickle Steel here. All right. Appreciate that, Jim Cox. Thank you for the support. Rolf Robertson, member Kripple Krew Inc. Good morning. Yeah, we got Francois today. Um, yeah, BEDC was also at Blade Show this year. I
Okay.
had a friend that was there that walked around. He went live with me that Saturday and walked
Okay.
around the show, stopping at different booths while we were live. And, we got him to go over to the booth. And yes, uh, even with the video going as he's walking around, it looks massive, but you can tell that we still weren't getting the full scope of it.
No,
And
you'll
and
never
we
get.
had an hour and a half with him walking around, and it looked massive.
I don't think anybody can explain to you how big it really is. It's massive. So I walked into your friend of mine's shop here, and I said, he asked me, how big is this place? I said, this shop of yours, and it's a massive hardware shop. I said, this shop of yours, it'll fit 3 times inside that wall. He said, okay, it's big. Yeah, okay, it's big. Yeah.
Okay, BEDC, I hope you're feeling better, brother. Rest up. Kathleen Smith says she saw your table on KDK's live, and the knives were gorgeous. What it do? Caleb, how are you, mine? Member Kripple Krew Inc., good morning. Jesse, member Kripple Krew Inc., what's up? For those of you just joining us, we have our friend Francois Massyn back from his, I hope I'm saying the last name right.
Yeah,
Back,
it's fine.
back from First Blade Show. And we were talking about the size and scope of the show. Did you end up spending any time in the pit in the evenings?
Yeah, like I said, jet lag. We went on. Did we go Saturday night? I think we went to the pit. Yeah,
Yeah.
just for a short while. But there you see the guys sitting around the table with each one with his box of knives, and they showing knives, and they're doing this and they're doing that and showing knives. It's quite interesting sitting there.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
quite.
it looked like a good time. I watched Barbie Chambers. She and Rolf Robertson, they were there, and she went live from the pit. I think it was Friday evening.
Okay.
Might have been Saturday. No, I think it was Saturday evening actually. But she went live from the pit and was showing how big even that was. And like Caleb had 1776, who's in the chat. He was hanging out with them as well.
Yeah. No, it's actually big. So the whole show is big.
Yeah, I'm
I was
looking
saying
forward to it next year.
we were now in Atlanta and Georgia, and everything's big. How big is it really in Texas? Because they claim Texas has got everything bigger than the whole of America.
Things are pretty big in Texas.
Yeah. Excuse me. No, but my table's booked. The one thing I need to do is I need to take a table helper.
Yeah.
Because you cannot. I don't feel safe leaving my table alone. I'm not saying anybody will take anything, but you just don't feel kosher leaving your table alone. People come past and they want to talk to you. There's nobody at the table.
Sure.
So
That definitely makes sense. It's really hard for you to stay in one spot the entire day. And you got to eat, you got to go to the bathroom, you got to stretch. And yeah, absolutely, I can understand why you wouldn't want to leave stuff alone.
That's not the biggest problem. The biggest problem is, sorry, DBD, the biggest problem is if you're sitting behind your table, you don't get to meet the purveyors because you've got to go hunt them down.
Gotcha. That makes sense too.
You still there?
Yeah, yeah. I was just pulling up African Custom Knives real quick to
Okay.
show the site. Oh wow, we've got brand new knives, few new arrivals. Hey, I recognize that knife. I was just showing that to my daughter yesterday. I'm gonna share this site real quick, folks. So for those of us, Jay Corscott, member Kripple Krew Inc., what's going on? For those of us who couldn't make it, if you're looking for one of those gorgeous knives that Francois had that we got to see, we've got some Barlows here. The bamboo flipper that we all loved. I wish they had. Oh, okay, here we go. Look at that with the fat carbon and the gorgeous engraving. And then we got the back spacers, and I'm sure they're going to show. Oh, they don't show the back spacer. They really should show the back spacer on those pictures.
They didn't see it.
Ooh, that's the one with the hemp.
Yeah.
That's the Toxic Storm in hemp in carbon fiber. That pivot is awesome. Oof. Yeah, so we got some of these. This is the red hemp. This is the one I really like.
Yeah, and he had nothing. The guy who makes it didn't have any red this year. Nothing. So
I like that red hemp a lot. It goes so well with the Mars Valley. And I like the gold clip. Oof. Beautiful. $550, folks. That's a pretty good price. Oh, this was the one with the all black carbon. Look at that hand satin, folks. That's a beautiful knife. I really wish they took pictures of the back spacers. They should show the back spacers.
Yeah, ooh, because it actually does it a lot of good.
It does. It does. The back spacer is such a big part of it. We have knives from Jason Guthrie, William Steenkamp. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong.
Yeah, Steenkamp.
Andro Hubert. Because yeah, I'm gonna mess all of these names up. But if you guys are looking for some awesome African, South African, custom knives, check out this site right here. This is just the new arrivals, and you guys can get a few Francois knives on here. This is that hemp Barlow. That red hemp Barlow looks so good. This is a beautiful knife, my friend. So just wanted to show that screen to everybody so that you guys can see. Yes, I'll drop the link in the chat right now. And I will pin it real quick so that everybody can check it out. I'm just typing this up. Knives available. There we go. I'll pin this link. There you go, folks. That takes you straight to the new arrivals page. And that's where the 5 knives or 6 knives from Francois were. Johann Walt had some nice stuff at his table too, and Francois knives were ridiculous. It seems like the guys from South Africa have knife making built into their DNA, says Caleb.
Must be something in the water. Because we're all the same, so there must be something else. Must be water or something to do with that.
That is the Outlaw. What's going on? Welcome to Kripple Krew Inc. Now, not the Durban beach water though,
No, not Durban Beachwater. Yeah.
folks. I
Thanks for
just
the.
want to show this real quick. This just came in yesterday. This is the TRM Knives tag along. Their new fixed blade, made in the USA. With I asked for the taco sheath instead of the pancake sheath, and the leather is still nice and tight. It comes with an ulti clip so that it's easy to drop in the pocket or on the belt, and leather for a lanyard if you want. And this knife, along with this Mad Yako Hank, are going to be our next giveaway. Not today. I have to this just came in yesterday, and I have to make a couple videos about this beautiful knife. But somebody is going to win a brand new TRM tag along fixie. Very comfortable little 3-finger fixie that the lanyard would give you the 4th finger on. Perfect little pinch gripper. But just wanted to show everybody that beautiful TRM. TRM Knives is Three Rivers Manufacturing. They're here in the United States, and they build all of their knives. They make everything in house. And this is the TRM Neutron 2. This is the only knife that is in my carry every day. Like all my other knives rotate through, but this is on me everywhere I go. This is my most used knife of 2025. And they just, for Blade Show, released their new little pocket fixies. And they're sold out right now, folks. You can't get these until they run the next batch in July or August. But somebody gets to win this OD green one. Wicked little fixie.
Looks like a
But
very nice little knife. Yeah. What scales are on that one? On that. Yeah.
this is their they call this their lizard print 3D tie, or yeah, lizard 3D tie.
Okay.
And they
Titanium.
do, yeah, it's titanium. They do
Okay.
these in house. You can get the knives with G10, micarta, or tie, and they have a couple of different tie scales. But this is the lizard print 3D. That's what it is. And this is I don't. Yeah, people here know that my favorite scale materials are Ultim and micarta.
Yeah.
And titanium is much lower on the list, but I carry this knife every single day. Titanium
What?
pocket clip. It runs on washers, 20 CV blade steel,
And it must
and
be light.
very, very, yeah, it's light and very slicey. 90 thousandths blade stock.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah,
beautiful little knife.
they make wicked, wicked little slicers. Kevin Santer, member Kripple Krew Inc. What's going on? ATB2. What it do? What it do? He's mowing right now, so he probably can't say hi to everybody, can't tag everyone. Caleb says, little guy wants to go outside, take it easy. And Francois, please keep those knives coming. See you again next year.
Okay, we'll go for it, eh?
Yes, I'm definitely looking forward to next year's, even though it's still, 340 something days away. Just seeing the coverage from the show is crazy. Watching the videos that everybody makes and people going live. What was some of your favorite stuff I know you didn't get a chance as much to like walk around and check everything out because you were too busy concentrating on trying to sell. But
I had a couple of makers I wanted to see. More in the slip joint fraternity. I went to visit Bruce Barnett from Australia.
yeah,
Had a chat to him. That guy makes a beautiful slippy. I spoke to Stan Buzak, also a very nice gentleman, willing to help everything. Other than that, I did not get around much. I was
yeah.
looking for material, and looking at knives was not in my scope.
Well,
I was
you
looking for material and things like that. So I can't even tell you those two guys I wanted to see, and I went to see them. Even before the show, the show started at 9. I was there at 7:30 and starting packing up. And I walked up to their tables and I said, "Listen, I want to talk to you guys." And they said, "No, go, no problem. Let's talk." I took a knife, one of that cattleman I took to Bruce, and he said to me, it's not too shabby, but you can fix a lot of things. And then he showed me what to do. I went for advice, and he gave it to me.
that's awesome.
So that was the good part of it. There's guys willing to help.
Yeah. That is great. It seems like the knife making fraternity is definitely is that is what it is, a fraternity.
Yeah, some guys in the fraternity, other guys not. You get guys who don't want to tell you nothing.
Yeah.
Sorry to say, but you do get guys who will hide everything from you.
Guys that are jealously guarding their secrets.
Yeah, so what the damn, it's what if you can't help somebody, what are you doing in life? That's my way of looking at it. If I can't help somebody if I teach somebody and he gets better than me, he is better than me. Finish. That's it.
Yes. Yeah.
But there's
Yeah.
guys who
Yeah.
don't
Great for
see it
him.
that way. Yeah, great for him.
Yeah.
I'll even help him to get better than me. I've got no problem with it. So my son also does, and he makes a better knife than me any day of the month because he's more meticulous than me.
Yeah.
That's all he is. He's just, it's right or it doesn't. I will still a little bit hide there. He says no, it's right or it's wrong. China, that's the way you are. That's the way you work it.
Kane Miranda, he says he just got their snake micarta. Oh man, I'm gonna have to pull a picture up of that. By the way, Kane, the reason that Marianne sent this to use as a giveaway is she said that TRM wanted to support the Kripple Krew because you guys have used that code, the code that they gave me, and you've purchased quite a few knives. So Marianne wanted to say thank you, and she asked what would be cool to give away, and I thought giving away the sold out Tagalog would be an awesome gift. But this comes from TRM as their way to say thank you to the Kripple Krew. I'm going to pull up that Snakes in my Carter real quick and show you what he was talking about. I'll pull it up on a Neutron. There we go. I'm going to share this screen real quick. This is the Neutron 2 folder that I have, but with their snake micarta. Which one is they call? Is that Python? Yeah, Python micarta.
That's a nice piece of handle.
And folks, code DBD and TRM25 saves you 10% on all of their knives and get you free shipping. But yes, Marianne wanted to say thank you to the Kripple Krew folks. So you're going to see some videos about the tag along, and then we will give it away. But it is a very comfortable little knife. So I know you had, you told me that the flight itself was like 15 hours one way, 16 the other. Is that from like Johannesburg is it a nonstop flight to the States or?
Yeah, I left Durban, flew on going there. I left Durban, flew to Cape Town, direct Atlanta. Then that was on. I left here at about 2. My flight left at Durban 12 o'clock, and we flew out at 7 out of Cape Town. And then on the way back, we were supposed to leave Atlanta at 10 o'clock. We left at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Welcome to our airports.
I was not happy. So we were stuck on the plane for 19 hours.
Oh no.
Yeah, we were stuck on the plane for 19 hours.
Oh, that would be horrible.
And we landed here at just before 10. And we missed the connecting flight for Durban, so I had to sleep over and leave the next morning.
That's a tough schedule.
Which wasn't nice. And then I was supposed to fly at 6:30 in the morning. Got up about 4:15 after tossing and turning until about 1 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. Got up, got to the airport, and as I checked in, they said to me, "Didn't you see your flight's been postponed?" So we only left. Our flight only left for Durban at 8 o'clock in the morning, where it was supposed to leave at 6:30.
So everything was messed up.
It was totally fallen apart. Totally fallen apart. But we're home and we're fine.
Yeah, and now you've had a chance to rest up finally, at least. So back to the grind.
Yeah, I've taken a week. I've been building 2 flats in my backyard since November. I've taken this last week and a half since we got back to sort them out. It's virtually on its hind legs now. I can start putting furniture in.
There you go.
That's basically what I've been doing the last. But I didn't. There was no rest for the wicked. I just had to push through.
Vegas Dad, member Kripple Krew Inc. What's going on? Dang Ross had the TRM tag along in his hand and was going to buy it at his local knife store, but somebody bought it online, and it was the last one, it sounds like. So they cart sniped it out of his hand. That's bad. It's one thing when you get cart sniped online, but man, when they get it out of your hand, that's way worse.
In the shop, they snipe it out of your hand. Oy, it's not nice.
And no, sir, we're going to have to take that back. Somebody else just bought it. What? Clint Crosby, what it do? Gareth, my brother from a South African mother, what's going on? Member Kripple Krew Inc. J1 Doobie, what's up? Brown Sugar, what's going on, sis? Good to see you. TKE must be winding down. And we're joined by the guy with beard envy, today, unfortunately. But it's okay. We still bring him on, even though he needs more facial hair. What's going on, brother?
Good, and you?
Hey, I'm doing well. You got the missus home in the all fixed up car?
Yep. Got there to her work. I parked it outside because she didn't know it was ready and all of that. So I actually parked it across the road from her work, and she was like looking through the window at this car. And it's quite distinctive, especially with my Rossi sticker on the back, the 46. And she's looking at this car. She gets up, comes outside, she runs across the road, oh, just tears and snot and crying away.
Very
Yeah,
happy that she has her car back.
my car that she keeps stealing. But yes,
You have a work bucky, man.
I do. But that's my baby. The thing is, that car was my uncle's car, so it's very sentimental to me. And it was like his baby. And when you see the condition of that car, it's a 2011 Ford Fiesta Sport. It's got 56,000 kilometers on the clock. There's
Wow, that's really low miles.
Yeah, it was like brand new still, and she was more upset when she rolled it of me being upset because of what car it is or whose car it was, should I put it, um, than anything else. She was fine. That's fine, and she was fine when she got home. When we were alone, she was still fine.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm just glad she was.
Yeah, she's
good.
okay. The car's back to the good. You know, the biggest thing, and that's the thing, is the material stuff can be fixed. So she came through the accident all right, and now the car's great back to gravy. So
Yeah, all's good
Malcolm,
back in the world.
Malcolm Holt, what's going on? Ron Crow, member of Kripple Krew Inc.
Hello,
Good to see
Mom.
you.
Here's my mom.
Yeah, we were talking to Francois about the flight experience that you're going to get to deal with next year
Hope so.
when you come over.
I hope so. I'd like to. Yeah, it's flying's always fun when you go to other countries and stuff.
Heck, just flying around United States is a crapshoot anymore. We used to. I remember when like all of our flights were on time and having a delay was very rare. And I haven't had a good flight experience in my last probably 5 or 6. I mean, my daughter and I ended up the deadly daughter and I spent the night in the military lounge at the Augusta, Georgia airport uh, in February because of flights being canceled.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that. I think we were chatting at the time too.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, flying and then you have to on top of that, like poor Francois there, on top of our delays, then you have the 15-hour, 16-hour flight. Once it does take off.
Yeah, no,
Same to you, Shady. Sorry.
I'm glad she's
Shady's
okay,
daughter.
Shady.
Yeah.
yeah. You know, we're talking about guys visiting the show and stuff like that, and purveyors. The way I see it after the show, your guys coming to the show, to them it's a hell of an expense as well. You know, if you're in Texas, if you're there, what does it cost you to fly, say, from Texas to Atlanta to come and visit the show? Now you've got to pay, say, 2 nights accommodation and food and everything. So my personal opinion, a lot of guys take that money that they would have spent there and go to purveyors and buy 2 knives instead of 1.
Yeah.
That's just my way of looking at it as a total newbie at the show, eh?
Yeah, it's definitely it's a grail listing for a bucket listing for all of us knife guys here in the States is to go to Blade Show. And there are folks here in the chat that go every year. But
Yeah, I'm sure.
And it's God, people of course always want to go there and buy knives. but it's more about the experience, seeing the new stuff, seeing stuff that we've never seen before, because that's where all the new products, or not all, but so many new products get launched, is
Yeah.
at Blade Show.
I'm just thinking of it now as well as us as a people. Like
Yes, meeting up all your homies.
if well, especially for somebody like me, where that's far away. I know it's still far away for a lot of people on there, but like that would be my number one thing. I think I'll miss most of the knives because I'll be wanting to see everyone.
Yeah,
Sort of thing.
I know that I would end up spending a lot of time in the pit as well, because I would be going there to hang out with the Kripple Krew. I get to
And
talk to the Kripple Krew all throughout the week, on multiple lives and interactions and comments, or, even there's a lot of folks that I chat with on Instagram regularly. But getting to meet the Kripple Krew would be awesome.
Yeah, to actually shake a guy's hand that you've spoken to on a group like this, or anybody, it's actually very nice because it makes you feel good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Mick Ranger, remember Kripple Krew, what's going on? Yeah, Rolf says, just wait till night at the pit. You will meet most there.
Yep. One day when I can get there, that to me, that I think is going to be my highlight. The knives are just going to be a blur because just from watching everybody else, technically it is only 2 full days, if you want to put it that way. I don't know if you agree, Francois. It's 2 full days, and then the Sunday looks like it's a lot quieter in that.
Yeah, it's what we call a tire kicker day. The night, all the guys that want to go to Blade and want to go and have a look around, and a lot of knife makers, I think, go on the Sunday because they buy material and
Okay.
they look at knives. Because the Friday and Saturday it's too busy. You just can't move around in that place.
Yeah,
To me,
I mean, you could. Oh no, go ahead. You said to you.
now, to me, you talking about Gareth. You talking about it. To me, this year was a bucket list trip. That's what this year was, and I'm going back for a second bucket.
Just from watching everybody's lives and stuff like that, you can see there's so much to see and so much like things going on. You almost like I think day one you'll say somebody like me that's never been to that. Day one will just be a huge blur, and you'll go there with dribble coming out your mouth and blah blah blah, and your brain will be mush because of everything going on. Halfway through day one, okay, you'll start coming back down to earth and be able to process what's going on. And then day two, you're still not going to get through everything with how much stuff is there and see everybody. So I think, and if you go walking around on day three to go actually look for things, a lot of things I think will be gone already.
Yeah, by day three, I do think that a lot of folks are quite bare. Depending on, I mean, guys like Blade HQ, obviously, they're still going to have a ton of knives out there. But by then, somebody like, say, Donnie B, Don Bless Knives are already done.
Yeah, look, on the second day by 12 o'clock, most of the purveyors have emptied the guys' tables. You walk around, there's empty tables all over. Tables are out. There's guys who go there on Thursday night, Thursday afternoon. They clear their table already with the purveyors.
Yeah.
So they don't even have a knife to put on the table.
Well, you look at Donnie's table. Donnie's table said sold on.
Yeah.
Like, so he was lucky that he could keep a lot of them and keep them on the table.
Yeah, just to show. Nick
Yeah.
Martino, member Kripple Krew Inc. We got Dang Ross, member Kripple Krew Inc. We got Josh 304, member Kripple Krew Inc. What's going on, gentlemen? Help with gadgets, member Kripple Krew Inc. Good to see everybody. I already said hi to Dang Ross. I just did it again, I guess. Nick Martino says, good to see your sexy ass, Gareth.
Yeah, he obviously hasn't seen me stand up. I've got no ass. I was built for a race bike. I'm flat.
Kathleen Smith asking when you're coming for a visit.
I'd love to come as soon as I can. But for those of you that I haven't sent it to on Instagram, you know, the whole refugee status thing and all of that.
Yeah.
We've got an advert. I sent it to you as well. Yeah, you've seen it. We've got an advert running here for a car company or for people that buy cars and that. And you see all these Jeeps parked outside this guy's house and they're all revving and shouting and all that. And the guy comes out with his stick. He's like, what's going on here? And they all say, we traded our cars and we all got these and now we got Rev your Jeep status.
Rev your Jeep status. Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, I know we were definitely. I saw another comment. I know that I wasn't the only one after the Trump refugee status announcement to reach out to you and say, "Hey, it's time for you to come on over, brother."
Yeah. And Uncle Jim.
It's easy to think of it, but at certain stages of your life, you just can't do it anymore.
We've got my mom. She lives with us. Where does she go? There's my wife's family's here. So, and we love this country. A lot of you would have seen the pictures and that from last weekend when we were camping and we were in the middle of nowhere. And I love this place. I don't know the people in this place, but I love this place. And that's not to say I would never think about it. I definitely would because I want my kids to have a future, and I don't think there's one for them here. But yeah, let's talk
But
now.
that's still such a hard decision to make to leave your home.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's difficult here for people to want to move from one state to another because you get attached to the state you're in. And I mean, you're talking about moving from your country to, your homeland to a whole nother continent. Yeah, that's a big decision.
That's
What's
a big
up,
jump.
Mud? Member Kripple Krew Inc. He's on the road, so he can't tag everybody, but he's carrying his Elementum and his Kaiser sheepdog.
How's it, Caleb?
Yeah, today is Mud's Father's Day, so Mud's father's birthday, so he's traveling to the grave to say hello to his dad today.
Okay, wish him for us when you're there.
Yeah.
Well, you can hear us now, I guess.
Yeah.
You can hear us now. We can do it now. Yeah, look, if you had asked me, and I'm going to be completely honest now, if you had asked me if I would want to move to America before I got involved with the knife community and all of that, I probably would have told you no, because I think from the perception that I got, thank you, from the perception that I got, a lot of Americans are arrogant and blah blah blah.
Sure.
And that was the perception I got without really knowing. Now you ask me that same question, yes, I would move there, just because all of the everybody in this community is just so great, and the friendships, or the family that my family's extended and grown with.
Sure.
All of you have changed my outlook on that, and it's given me first-hand view of it instead of a perception.
Yeah, I'm gonna say something now that I might get kicked for.
Oh,
Um,
we know that there's plenty of American jerks, if that's what you're about to
no,
say.
I've been there now, and I haven't really experienced any jerks. But the Americans out of their country tend to be very jerky.
Yeah, I've heard as much that we're assholes overseas. We're demanding and expect more
I I
That
know
than we
that's
a
what
should.
couple of yeah, I know a
that's
couple of
what
guys here that came from America, some immigrated here 20 years ago, and they weirdos. They're not normal people.
but that's probably you've actually probably hit the nail on the head. Because the Americans we normally see are mainly tourists. And the
Sure.
tourists are paying to do stuff and paying to see stuff. So they expect to see that and expect to do that. So maybe that might come across as being because that's what they
Uh,
expect.
I'm not even.
We do have our fair amount of assholes. I
Yeah,
Hey,
mean, just like
everywhere.
not
anybody,
to South Africa,
just like
China.
anybody.
You'll find them as well.
But yeah, we all. I also do believe that Americans also come to expect a certain standard of living and comfort, and expect to also receive that in other countries, and when they shouldn't.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, no, look. So, like I said, you get assholes in every country. Eh? But it's
And
just I'm when I'm talking about, I'm not talking about tourists. I don't get into tour. I'm not talking about guys who immigrated and have been living here for 20 years. They still got that arrogant feel about them,
yeah.
and there's nothing to be. Hey, same. The French are the same. Eh? They're an arrogant bunch
So
of people
bad.
in their own country.
Yeah, the French were arrogant before us. That's who we had to learn from.
Yeah, that's who we learned it from.
They're the teachers.
And the Brits, honestly, the Brits are jerks too, and that's who Americans got it from.
Can I tell you who my okay, so my brother he's got shares in a tourist not tourist, what's it like a tour guide. He
Yeah,
tourist whatever company. Tours. There we are, that's the word. And from he's in Cape Town, but whenever I've been there with him and that you find and he said it before, but he's since changed his mind a bit and he's explained why. He said that the Dutch are the worst. The Dutch are the worst when it comes to coming to a place and rude and arrogant and all of that. But that was where, when you just said now about people coming here and expecting things and that as well, that's exactly what my brother said about the Dutch. He says, look, they're actually not really. You just need to understand where they're coming from and what they've paid this. He says that they are very Scrooge. They are like very Scrooge. I
very
didn't know if I,
stingy with the money. They're not
yes,
good tippers.
no. Um, and so they are like very thing with their money, but he says that's the reason why they are the way they are is because they expect that's what they're paying for. That's what they want. They don't understand that stuff can happen in between that
Yeah,
can give problems.
sure. Or especially like going down there to go see critters in the wild. A lot of folks don't realize you can't control wild critters.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what you're going to see is whatever you're going to see. It's not like you can whistle them up and have them line up as you drive by.
Yeah, then you might as well be in a zoo.
Yeah, I am Ron Dobbins. I hope you are as well. I appreciate that. And Nick Martino, I have to agree. The whole reason one of the biggest reasons we're moving is to get back down to Southern people, the people in the South. The manners are much more prevalent than on the West Coast. And Texas, the people in Texas are fantastic. So just even the difference in the service from a waitress in a restaurant in Texas and a restaurant in Washington is insane. And yeah, we're definitely going back down to the down south. I have to agree with you, Nick.
Yeah, well, Nick, don't get me wrong. Like I've said, you know, the knife community has completely changed my outlook of Americans.
No,
Completely.
they're
It, it,
a nice bunch of guys. That's it.
yeah, it's we were talking today, myself and a friend, about with how it is like a family. It reminds me a lot of the biking community where everybody's got each other's backs and that sort of stuff.
Yes.
It's very much like that on a softer level in a way.
Yeah.
Um,
Look at the way people come together for Blade Walker, for Blue and Sis, for any time somebody's got stuff going on. Look at oh my gosh.
yeah,
Scout.
there's a lot of them, and that's in the biking community comes through as well. The biking community, I'm not sure, I can't speak for America, but in South Africa, they probably raise the most amount of money out of any private
Yes.
sector. Not
Yeah. No.
in
Our
a way.
the clubs here are the same way. There's a lot. There's a lot of charity work. A lot goes back to our communities
Mm.
in the clubs here,
And
and it's always it's a family. If a guy goes down, then other clubs are going to raise money for him. Not even just his club. If a guy dies, you know, people are going to take care of his family,
yeah,
and it does happen. We ride hard and fast. You lose people, but their family is still part of your family.
yeah. Caleb, you don't let the croc take your cooler. You go in, you grab the croc by the tail, you smack it on the nose, and you get your cooler back and walk out the water.
You crack them with your hippo tooth in your hand.
Yeah.
By the way, Garrett, in the beginning part of this, we were talking about how Francois saw guys having materials stolen, or not stolen, but practically taken from them by our Fish and Wildlife Service. They were taking like croc sheets, ray skin sheets, and it was all materials that are on sale here, that you can sell here, that other people probably even had at the knife show, but that they weren't letting them bring into the country.
That would be like one of my biggest worries in doing something like that, especially coming from Africa. Like, what can you take across? Because now you get that side, and they find one thing, they say, "Oh no, you can't have this," and then next minute they take everything, and that's
Yeah,
scary.
that's a problem. You've got to. I've got the guy in Atlanta's email address now. So what I'll do is contact him before time and say, listen, yeah, this is what I've got. What do I do? What permits do I need to bring this in? I actually left all my slip joint slips. All my bags I left in South Africa because I had one with ostrich skin on, and there was a rumor going around that they're confiscating. I saw my son in Cape Town. I said to him, yeah, take all these bags. If I need to, I'll buy slips on that side.
But ostrich is an African chicken. They go out here. Wow.
In America, you got trouble moving that stuff, eh?
Okay, I wouldn't have thought ostrich skin. It's like the South African chicken.
Well, and like I said, it's material that is available here in the U.S. on not just sheaths, but on boots, on all kinds of stuff. Same with ray skin. Alex Kerber, what's going on? Good to see you, homie. Yeah, same with. I mean, they're all materials that we can purchase here. They just want you to spend the extra money on permitting before you can bring it in.
Okay, so what you're saying is if I'm ever going to bring an ostrich skin slip into America, I should rather take the whole ostrich alive, because then it will be cruelty to animals. So they allow me to get it in, and once I got it in, I can give everyone ostrich burgers and
Yeah.
steaks, and
Yeah, there
and
we
then we
go.
can make a slip.
There we go. Yeah,
Okay.
just you know what? Maybe just ship it over as an egg.
There we go. Send it
Yeah,
beforehand.
send it. See, I send it. Just put it in one of the boxes to mom, and let her let her hatch it till you get here.
Do you think she will let me make ostrich burgers and steaks if she's raised that baby chicken?
Kurt White, what's going on? Good to see you. So was this your first trip to America, Francois?
Yeah, no, I'm not a jet setter. Eh? I've had one trip to France and now this trip to America. I haven't been out of the country much.
Yeah.
I'm not a jet setter.
And it's not like you really got to experience much of America on this trip with that tight schedule.
No, I experienced a little bit of people in the street, and when we were operating, we slept little. Eh? We moved around a lot. So, because sleeping is for when you die.
Yeah, we'll sleep when we're dead.
Yeah, sleep when we're dead. So, but I'm not a big traveler. I'm not big on traveling. I'm a homeboy. So
Yeah.
I'm not too much on traveling. But I enjoyed it. And maybe next year I'll take my wife with as my table watch, and we'll stay a couple of days extra.
Yeah.
I've got a proposition there. I'll go with and be your table watch, because the Gareth brings all the boys to the table.
And I want to say thank you to my brother Gareth for gifting a membership to Kripple Krew Inc. And welcome Malcolm Holt to the Kripple Krew. Everybody, make sure you show your badass emoji, show your support for Malcolm, welcoming to the crew.
I'm using a special knife to do it.
Yeah, that's the Uncle Jimmy bug out.
Yep.
Full
Well,
tie build.
the Zach stuff, bug out, and
Yeah,
then
Zach
I
stuff
did
bug out with the Uncle Jimmy scales that you did the swap on.
Yep.
Where's my photo, Gareth?
Oh, sorry. Okay, wait. I'm scanning it now. Eh? Can you see that? I'm scanning it.
I
Yeah.
just want the blade, eh?
So I actually have a review that's going up tomorrow on a Benchmade
That's the one.
that is so much what the hell. Yeah, I got one of them.
My one's different.
Yep.
You've got the American Tanto. Gareth's
I've got the American Tanto Ultim. He has the Quaken blade.
Yeah,
On the
that Quaken blade is a monster. I love that thing.
Yeah.
I love that blade.
I forgot what I was about to say when we started doing that. must not have been important. We started flashing. Oh yeah, Benchmade.
Yeah.
Oh, keep an eye out for tomorrow's video, because I have nothing good to say about this knife that I review tomorrow. I couldn't find a saving grace in this knife. The Mini Adira is so much what the hell.
There's this knife saving grace.
Oh yeah, well that one is special. That one came from Zach stuff, and then it's got all the goodies that make it nice. The Benchmade Mini Adira, they slapped the water tag on, so they can charge more for it, and they put they put the least amount of money into the cheapest materials possible into the Mini Adira and charge more for it because it's in the water series.
This before before I put the titanium, I was breaking it in and using it. When I say using it, I left it in the center console of my pickup. Sounds weird saying that. I left it in the center console of my pickup instead of carrying it because I didn't like it. I absolutely I tried to. I really did. It felt like it was going to flip in my hands because of my extra small hand. It felt like it would flip on me. I put these scales on. They're slightly wider. They're slightly wider this way too, I think.
Yeah, and that makes a massive difference.
It's honestly, it's like if you had to blindfold me and give me this knife and with the standard scales, I'm going to choose this every time. It's made a world of a difference to me thinking, okay, well now it looks all fancy and it's all very nice. So maybe this is going to be my first safe queen. No, bugger that, I'm carrying this thing. I like it.
Well, you and I were talking that like Benchmade's like the Harley of the knife world. You buy
Yeah.
the basic Benchmade knowing that you're going to buy all the accessories to build it up to what you want.
To make it, but little secret, Harley still don't get it right.
Caleb, yeah, the Adira is the first of the Water Series folders. And then the mini Adira is obviously a little smaller 7.5 version of it, 7.5 inches version of it. And they take because they're calling it water, like, everybody's trying to have a waterproof line net right now, but they again give you FRN scales, but now you're paying $250 for plastic scales that are sharp and uncomfortable. They put MagnaCut as the blade steel on it, but they only run it to 60 to 62 HRC. So you're getting none of the edge retention out of it. Everything about it, T6 hardware, everything they do on it is it's a dumb idea. And yeah, I tried to find something I liked about it, and I couldn't.
Okay, carry on. Sorry.
Talking about knife steels, how many guys really go for MagnaCut?
It had its moment where when it was fresh and the new hotness, everybody wanted to have it. Everybody was, and every company was running some of it. The prices have started to come down on MagnaCut now. Yeah. And people are running it at higher HRC so you get better edge retention out of it. And it's a good steel. And if I'm buying a knife that has it, I'm okay with getting it, but I'm also not a steel snob. It doesn't have to be MagnaCut for me, and I only have a couple of MagnaCut knives. It's I have plenty of D2 and 14C that does just fine for me, but I have more 20 CV and M390 than I do MagnaCut.
Yeah. Now, getting back to hardness of knives, I've got a philosophy. 60 HRC is quite ample for a folder. Edge retention is probably a little bit better, but you can't sharpen 63 and 64, eh? You need diamonds for that.
We're pretty used to using diamonds for most everything now anyway.
Yeah.
Because, we get a lot of other steels over here like Van X and L-Max, the like an S15, I mean, not an S15, an S110V or
Yeah.
a 15V. All this stuff, we're already using diamond stones. So because of that, on MagnaCut specifically, I mean, on a folder, we've come to expect it to be between 62 and 64. And that's MagnaCut specific.
Yeah.
There's only certain steels that are running that high, and we do have some like Rec 76 that are running way higher than that. But no, I don't have any Vanex in my collection yet, Ron Dobbins. But yeah, 60 HRC on MagnaCut down here now is almost unsellable. Nobody's gonna buy that. TKE, what's going on, homie? Welcome to the main stage.
Where is it, TK?
And what's funny is all of this, all of these opinions that everybody has about these steels, that are these hard ingrained opinions. No, 61 HRC MagnaCut is bullshit. We don't want it. Most of us don't use our knives to the point where we need anything more than 14C or D2.
Oh, sure. D2.
We're not pushing our knives to the point where we need the top performance, but that's what everybody wants. That's what everybody's decided they're an expert on.
But that's also, like with the knife collectors and that, a lot of people have got so many, and they're the people that would buy those steels, they've got so many knives that it takes a long time for their knives to go blunt anyway, because they're swapping and changing and using different knives. And so, and those are the people that are going to be buying the MagnaCut.
Yeah.
So you've also got to look at that.
Yeah, I rotate my knives constantly. Nope, DKE. You're gonna have to take you're grounded for 2 weeks. That's it. Cal, what's going on, homie? Good to see you. Yeah, I don't push my knives to the limit. I know that most of my cutting is, around the house type stuff, and I rotate my knives very frequently.
That's what I got a warthog for.
Yeah, this is the only knife that's on me every day. My Lagatha, my spike, is on me most days, but other than that, other than my TRM and my fixie, most of my knives are changed out every single day in my pockets.
Yeah.
This would be the one that I push the most. Would be this one right here, and this is, custom heat treated AEBL, and I haven't had to strop this yet, and it's my main. That's probably my main knife.
Main user, yeah. I've used MagnaCut on one blade and I was not impressed. It's a bastard to heat treat, and once you've got it heat treated, it's a bastard to polish.
Yeah, I bet.
Just going back, if I can, to what you guys, what you were saying, DBD, about, I just found something funny. Going back to what you're saying, that everybody's coming out with a saltwater line of knives.
Mm-hmm.
Think about this. So they're coming out with these saltwater knives and a whole different line of them and all of that. If you ask somebody to find a person at Blade Show and you say to them, right, they've got a beard and they might be wearing khaki, but they generally got a beard, and that's 90% of Blade Show. Would you see those people using the ocean knives? I was just thinking of, like, okay, they're coming out with this
Yeah, they got the saltwater line that most people are carrying in the desert.
Yes. I was just thinking when I asked somebody to look for Francois, and I said, "Oh, he's got a beard. He's probably wearing khakis, and he's got a thing around." And they were like, "Yeah, that's 90% of the people." Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny.
Hey, Warren,
I wanted to say something now, and it skipped my mind.
with
Carry on.
War Room coming in now, I made a purchase of a knife yesterday.
What'd you
So
purchase?
if you look at that, my Nathan Vulgun knife, and if you go and look on your Instagram, DBD, I've sent you a picture of one. It just doesn't have the same scales as this one, but I've gifted that one to War Room, but I've asked him before he gets it, if any of you guys want to, if you can do a review on it. So I'm going to be sending that one over probably sometime next week.
Oh, that is gorgeous. I'm going to show this on screen. This is gorgeous.
So that I purchased, he didn't donate it, but I purchased it from him, and because I want to send it over there.
Beautiful.
So it's the same. It's
same pattern as yours.
Same as mine, but I've got I'll put it like that. But I've got the wood.
His clip point looks a bit different than that one as well.
Yeah, the other one had a bit lower clip.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, a little more buoy, tactical-ish almost.
Yes,
They're beautiful. They're a beautiful pair. Here, I'm going to show the other one again. Look at that.
The grip on the other one is E10, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So yeah, that's
What
coming
is
over.
What is this scale material, brother?
I think it's G10. Eh? I'm not 100% sure.
Or something like that. Yeah.
They look good. They make some awesome blades.
He messaged me there on Friday and said, "Hey, look, I want to move some stuff because I want space for new stuff that I want to. Would you be interested in this at the knife show, or at Easter knife shows prices?" And Andy said he'll make a Kydex sheath for me for it. So
Nice.
I said, well, I replied with the money's in his account.
Nice reply. Nice reply.
If I have to.
He didn't want to get cart sniped like we were talking about earlier.
Yes, I heard that. That's not like that.
No, that's not like it at all. Having that happen when it's in your hand, shop owner come walking up and say, actually, this dude in Ohio just bought it.
Yeah, it's a no. That maybe I bought that knife from the dude in Ohio. So you've got another South African custom on its way over there for you guys to look at and do reviews.
That is awesome.
Very nice blade, that, eh?
Mm.
I can see that in a Persian flipper.
Ooh, yeah.
I can see that in a Persian flipper.
That would look good. Bluetooth blades, what it do, homie?
Yeah, I have to take
stuff
more
all 5 minutes
Francois.
behind, says El Cap.
I've got a camera in my eye. I just go and sit down and think, and it comes out to what I wanted, eh?
I knew those glasses didn't just shoot laser beams.
Gareth, I told you I brought the ballerina back,
No, you didn't.
didn't I? But it's sold.
No.
Yeah, I brought the ballerina back and it's sold. Yeah.
Oh, no.
What about the jesters?
No, that's the one I'm talking about. The
That's
jester.
the
Yeah.
one.
Oh, yeah. I was showing my daughter the knives that are from the pictures that Garrett sent last time. Yes, I'm going to give you the screen. This is my favorite knife. I'm not even a dagger person, but that coffin, but the jesters on that is my favorite knife. I
That,
love that. That is so gorgeous.
This one's sold.
so that's my second favorite after my bamboo knife.
After the bamboo.
Now the horses sold. The bamboos on African.
Whoop, we lost him. South
Yeah, you
African
know what?
internet. Got
I
that
pulled
sound?
the plug on him because he didn't bring my knife back.
Thank you, Ron Dobbins. Says hit that thumbs
I don't
up,
know.
everybody.
Thanks for reminding me, Ron.
Yeah, that knife, that he calls the ballerina knife, that dagger, the scroll
That's
work, just the
pretty.
engraving on that is insane.
That
And
thing is pretty.
we were taking a look at African Custom Knives earlier, the website, because some of his knives are on there. Oh, and he's
Sorry,
coming back.
guys, I'm back. I
No,
disappeared.
Warren, we don't have dial up. We've got two strings with a piece of string. And then that, you see, that's why I was late. I was getting back from Francois' place with the string.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but
the guy, I'm waiting for the guy. He said to me, "It's gone. Don't look for another buyer." So I'm waiting for the cash, and then it'll go.
No, nice.
Josh
But
304, that is what I have heard. MagnaCut will no longer be made in the United States. That's what I have
Fran-
heard. That's what I have heard as well.
Francis, you didn't hear, but I cut your internet with my knife because you didn't bring back my bamboo knife.
You can go and look for it on
It's
African.
for sale. I can show you. Hey, Gareth, to look at this though, the one thing that I really, really wish African Custom Knives did for all of these is they've got some beautiful pictures of them, but they don't show any of the backspacers.
You know what? I'm going to jump off this live.
So
I don't
this
want to see that.
look at that right there, Gareth. Still available.
I like that knife. It's just, to me, that Tonto and that is,
The Tonto one
well,
looks so good. I
it's,
love this one right here. The red hemp and Mars Valley. Ooh.
tell me, do you guys have a lot of people using hemp for the knife scales over
No,
there?
he's the first one that I've seen.
Okay.
And like this is a Barlow with the red hemp. Oh, that looks so good. Yeah, this is his knives are the first I've seen this, and I really like it.
It makes sense, eh? Because hemp is such a versatile product with water resistance and all of that sort of stuff. I think it makes a lot of sense. And what else is what else are the potheads going to do with the rest of their weed? They need to make money somehow.
Yes, folks,
Hey.
there are some Francois Massyn, and I'm gonna stop saying your last name. I know I'm butchering it. There are some Francois knives available right now on AfricanCustomKnives.com. The link is pinned in the description, and you can get either a flipper or a beautiful Barlow, two-blade Barlow pattern. There's also knives from other South African knife makers on here. And this is just the new arrivals page. So I'm sure there's a lot more than that on here. Oh, yes. Ooh, look at that spike. Little shiv.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some beautiful custom work from South Africa on here. If you guys want to take a look.
I didn't even know there was a such website.
I hadn't heard of it until Francois told us about it earlier. Warthog
Hey,
Ivory Tusk keychains.
oh, I know who made those.
Who did that?
There were two tables, or there were the table next to you at Easter Night Show, weren't there?
Yeah, that's right. I know.
I can't remember. Oh no, that's it.
Yeah.
Because when I saw those, I was like, hang on, is that crocodile teeth? And then I realized, no, it's not. It's warthog. It looks like a crocodile tooth.
Yeah. Short
Hey,
scary one.
what's going on? 1931 Leatherworks. How are you today? Just a
That's
reminder,
very-
folks, doublewideedc.com. You can buy Mad Yako Hanks. You can get your Mad Wax. And you can get wallets and other products made by our homeboy Terry.
Aries sent me a video of a guy over there with warthog tusks and all of that.
Yeah.
And other things. But we're just Aries was teasing me with this warthog tusk, and it's like, well, okay, you know that stuff grows around you like trees, right? We knock them off all the time, and we enjoy the meat that goes with it because warthog's actually very nice. You would think it's like pork. It's nothing like pork. It's actually red meat. And it's very good meat on warthog.
Is it?
Mm.
You guys have all kinds of critters to eat over there.
Well, if you don't eat it, it will eat you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of our food is limited to beef, pork, and chicken.
We actually in my house, we actually eat a lot of game for the fact that I know it's stuff that's out in the wild. It's not something that's getting injected with something. It's not something that's getting fed stuff that's been modified. It's
It's not full of steroids and antibiotics and
and also at the same time, at the moment, game meat's actually sometimes actually cheaper than beef and that.
Yeah, some you get some. Yeah, my one son, he goes and hunts beginning of winter for the whole year. He doesn't buy meat.
yeah.
He buys meat. He buys meat from the butcher when his mom comes and visits because she doesn't eat venison. Other than that, he doesn't. His whole family, everybody just eat venison.
Yeah. Aries EDC, what's up, brother? Yeah, we are all modified here, that's for sure. All of our food, our meat, our vegetables, everything we eat over here is modified and lab changed, and yeah, not a whole lot of natural food over here anymore. Or you're paying out the butt for it.
Yeah, and it's that's scary, eh? And a lot of it comes down to education about the foods that we eat. I don't have a lot of education about it, but I'm just thankful that we can get that sort of stuff here still. Because I do feel that the Africa and there are also a lot of testing grounds for a lot of stuff when it comes to that sort of stuff. So we've got that second option, which and it's for a change isn't that much more expensive, if not cheaper.
Yeah, that's awesome to have that wild meat available that way. Yeah, like Malcolm says, if you want that here, you got to hunt for it.
Yeah, a lot of we used to buy when my wife and myself first moved in together. We used to buy a lot of ostrich meat because it was cheaper than beef and all of that. And then some health nuts discovered, hang on, there's hardly any fat in ostrich meat. And now the ostrich meat became so
So
popular.
expensive, you can't afford it anymore.
Then
Yeah.
the price shot up because
Isn't
it's
it
got
really
hardly any fat.
overpriced now?
Yeah. So it's fortunately they haven't realized that with the rest of the meat so far. So the venison and all that's still good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't eat meat without fat. No ways. I like my white meat.
So I get quite a few guys from China over here and from the Turkish guys and all of that, and I take them to a restaurant here, the revolving restaurant.
Yeah.
So there, all my life I've gone there and we've always had their ostrich steaks. I'm too scared to try anything else because those
Did
ostrich,
you know it's good and you know you love it?
they
And you don't
make
want
it
the
with a
restaurant
pepper
ruined
sauce.
for you?
Yeah, they make this pepper sauce with it, and it tastes so good. So these guys will come here and you order it rare, and they tell me no, they don't eat their meat rare. They eat their meat like burnt. What's that other word for it?
Well done.
Well, yeah, burnt. That one.
No, perfect. It's even in the name. Well done
Yeah.
means that steak is done well. That's perfect.
No,
It's ready.
no, it's not. It's overdone. The thing must still be mooing or croaking or whatever it does when it gets to your plate, and then you put your lighter on it, and it's cooked. But to tell these guys, like, look, you can't have it like that. There's no fat on it. It's going to be very dry. So far, they've listened to me and they've had it at medium rare. And all of them, you see, they're going to eat through their fingers when they're busy with this stuff.
Now,
Yeah.
fatless beef is tasteless, man. Totally tasteless.
Not on biltong, though. And that's why you've got to pull out the
You
big
still got
gun.
to send me some biltong.
It's coming.
I can't do biltong defense videos. It's all beef jerky defense because I've never had biltong.
Yeah, but you let my wife steal my biltong the other day.
No,
You distracted me, and
no,
she got it.
No, my
You
friend.
distracted me.
You let her steal it. I just told you that if she'd already stolen it, it was too late to defend it.
No, you told me I couldn't go back after it and defend it.
No. Once you had possession of it, I told you you could defend it again. But when she stole it from you, I told you you had already lost defense privileges.
Yeah, but you two were working together. You were distracting me while she was stealing it.
That's part of life. You're losing, Gareth.
No, I got my biltong back. I got it back.
He did steal it back.
So me and DVD were talking, and she was sitting next to me in the bed, and I heard something, and I looked over, and I saw her with this big smirk on her face, and I couldn't smell my biltong next to me anymore. She'd taken it and ducked it in her cupboard next to the bed. I got it back. She had to get up sometime.
Caleb said they had ostrich for Easter the last 3 years. It's like beef. It's weird.
Yeah.
Fatless beef.
Ostrich is beautiful as long as you don't overcook it. It's
but
really nice.
Well.
Yeah.
Venison as well. If you don't overcook it, it's very nice.
Yeah. I'm of the belief that our ancestors discovered fire for a reason, and that is for me to cook food all the way through.
No, it's just to warm your food up and to keep you warm and make coffee while you eat your food. Somebody lied to you along the way. Do you have your vegetables crunchy, or do you cook those mushy too?
Crunchy.
Okay, fine. You okay. Even though we don't really talk about, I'm meaning chicken, eh? Chicken vegetable. Chicken's a vegetable.
Is that ever you want vegetables, you eat chicken?
Yes, that's the salad.
So
Yeah.
I know you're getting back to work starting on Monday. Did you come back with any orders for customs?
Yeah, they were scarce, because I'm a new kid on the block. Those things are scarce. People first have to get to know you before you start getting orders.
Sure.
Chris
Go ahead.
placed an order with me,
That's awesome.
so we'll get to chat. I didn't get Chris's
I need to send it to you still.
details. Yeah, you must send me his details so me and him can chat and see what he wants. I know what he wants, and now just how he wants it.
I'm gonna
No,
guess it's a
he said.
Tonto.
No, it's that he fell in love with this one.
Oh yes.
But he doesn't want color. He just wants straight carbon fiber like that other one.
Yeah,
So because he's got a big hand,
he
this
does.
one will suit his hand.
Yeah, it's a good looking knife.
But we'll talk to him. He can have what he wants. It's if he wants carbon fiber flat. He says he's a very non-frilly guy, so he wants a working knife. That's basically what it is.
Nice.
So maybe I'll be starting the war again because Chris said we're going to war. I'm just watching the comments to see if it pops up anything. I took a knife that Uncle Jimmy sent to Chris, or Chris traded with Uncle Jimmy. I can't remember what the story was. It was a K-bar, and it had brown Makada handles. And I said to him, "Why don't you dye those black?" Because I'm not a fan of brown, and I like teasing him because he likes brown. But before he could say anything, I jumped onto AI. I sent him a picture of it in black. I sent him a picture of it in an army green color. Then I got more creative. I sent him a picture with a vase and flowers on his table with teddies with hearts and a pink knife on his table. Then I got even more creative and I put more flowers, more teddies, and a rainbow flag as on the table. He then turned around and he said, "This is war." Which then I proceeded to send him a screenshot that I took of him when he had just woken up with no glasses, no cap. And I said, "Do you really want to play this game?"
Yeah, I've got a couple of things up my sleeve. I want to build a Persian flipper, so that's definitely, and then that Quaker blade. I want to make that. I'm not sure whether the handle's going to come out like that, but the blade is going to be that blade shape will fit. Gareth, that handle is just too square for me. I'm not a.
I agree.
But we'll see. We'll work on it. We'll see what happens. What did you just have in your hand there, Chris? DVD?
Yeah, you mentioned Persian, so I had to bring out the golden Fook dragon.
Yeah,
This is
something like that.
yeah, this is the most gas station-y of all gas station knives.
Yeah.
But besides this, I only have one other Persian,
But
and
that one's not Persian.
that would be the Kubi scimitar.
The other one's not Persian. It's Pernese.
There you go. Yeah, this is the only other Persian style blade that I have. And this one has less of the squared handle and more swoop to it.
Yeah. If I want to build something like that, but I want to build a high end one. First build a normal one to prove the concept.
Yeah.
And then I'll build Damo steel one.
That would be dope.
Titanium engraved.
Eagle Scout, what's going on? Robo, what it do, homie? And Golden Fook Dragon, Terry. This knife came from Fook Doozle. And this thing cracks me up. You know, it's the most gas stationy of all. You know, it's assisted, of course. Got to be spring assisted. It has a wave feature, but you can't use it because it's a tip down pocket clip.
Yeah.
It has a ring for no reason.
You know,
And then-
DBD. Sorry,
What's that?
Sarah.
I was gonna say, and it came with some of the silver wire sticking out from the gold paint, and so it would bite every time you used the Golden Fook Dragon.
You know that you're costing me money. So tomorrow's mission is to go to China Mall, right? To go and look for these knives.
To
But
go
the
find a
problem
good
is-
gas station knife for the gas station knife war of 2025.
That's the one. But you're costing me money. Well, you're costing my biltong money because now I'm going to have to take the wife with me and she's going to want to get stuff and that takes away my biltong money.
Yeah, we talk about the Paki Muscus and Pakistani. You know, some of those guys are bloody artists. They just
Yeah.
they don't have the right materials to do what they want to do.
Sure.
Yeah.
They're doing it
Sure.
on the cheap and down, but some of the ideas are excellent.
I need to jump and get a charger quick. I'll see you now.
Roger that. Yeah, we're having a contest, Francois, the Kripple Krew knife war, gas station knife war of 2025, where
Okay.
people can find the most gas stationy of gas station knives and send them in for review. This one doesn't count because obviously the Golden Fook Dragon would win. But people can send them in for review, and then the members of the Kripple Krew are going to get to vote on which is the best of the worst or the worst of the best, whichever you want to call it. And whoever wins is going to get a real knife, you know, a nice knife.
A real knife.
And then we're going to do a members only drawing, and whoever wins that is getting stuck with the entire box of gas station knives.
He can disperse of them if he wants to.
Yes, because I don't want them. So after I'm done reviewing them and doing the contest, we're gonna send them and stick one person with them.
Yeah, we've got a small little town outside Richards Bay that if you win, you put up prizes. First prize is 1 day in Ishawi. Second prize is 2 days in Ishawi. Third prize is 3 days in Ishawi. So that's basically what you're trying to sell. That's basically what you're trying to sell. The guy with the third prize is going to get the box.
Yeah,
it's interesting looking at things like that.
You said something earlier, Garrett. You said revolving restaurant.
Hmm.
Is it? Does the restaurant spin, or does it? Okay, I didn't know if you meant that or if it like revolved who ran the kitchen. But no, I get it.
No. It's called the Roma Revolving Restaurant. They are all over the world. It's on top of a building in town here, just next to the harbor. So while you're sitting down and eating your food, it's spinning. It's moving very slowly, but it is turning around, and you get the view of the whole view of Durban pretty much as it goes around from our harbor to further up a bit. And if you go to the toilet or something, or you go upstairs for a smoke, it's always fun because when you come back down after your smoke, you have to go find your table because it wasn't where you left it. So it's there it is. Yeah, I could see the town, the building next to it.
Yeah. It shows the harbor. and the Durban skyline.
So let's see if it comes up. There's a building right next door to it that when I was a kid, my parents' friends lived next door in one of the buildings, and
It looks like these are the
they
only two views.
okay. Well, the building that I'm thinking of is off to the left of it, so you just can't see it there. And that's when I was a kid. I think I was about 4 or 5, probably younger. No, I was about 5 because my brother was born. They had a chest freezer, and there was a window, and they were the second from the top floor. I think it was 20 stories up or something like that. I can't give you the exact thing. Um, Apparently, my mom heard me screaming, which wasn't a normal scream. And she came in, and I climbed up on the chest freezer on top of a fridge, and I opened the window to look out. And with it being between buildings, it actually sucked me out. And my mom found me hanging on the window on the thing outside the building. So maybe that's where I conquered my fear of heights.
Scott, what's up, homie, and welcome to the Kripple Krew.
Yeah, so
Yeah, that's we have people chiming in that that's like the revolving restaurant in the Seattle Space Needle or in Toronto and such. But that's what I was curious about when you said revolving, if it was like that. But yeah,
yeah,
it looks like a beautiful view out the harbor.
it's you've got if you go outside onto my veranda now, the harbor is as the bird flies maybe 2 kilometers away, but I can see it. I can see it from my veranda, and I can actually see that building from my veranda as well.
Oh, that's cool.
If you use binoculars, you can see it.
Yeah.
So I'd say actually maybe about 4 kilometers away in a straight line. If you drive there, it's about 20 minutes to get there from my place. So
What's up, SC Knife Monkey? Member Kripple
they,
Krew. Good to see you, homie.
they've got a
UPS
really
stole
good
your
view.
bloom? Your bloom disappeared? That's no
No way.
good. The UPS guy must have opened it and seen how nice the knife was. J1 Doobie had his Aries EDC and Kubi Bloom coming in. And look, it sounds like it disappeared. Aries' first production knife. Such a fantastic knife, too. And sold out again. Congrats, Aries.
Yeah, congrats. It's I'm going to chirp you, DBD.
Oh, yeah, you love my Ultim. I know you love my Ultim collection.
Yeah. That's why I've got my own. If that was not one of Scott's knives, I would say the guy did you a favor. But
it makes it hard for you to bag on it because it's Aries.
yeah, it really does. I can't because it's Aries now. Oh shit! It's like kryptonite. I guess I can't. Oh, my phone's going close. I can't give you trouble about it because it's one of Aries knobs.
Yeah.
This is like getting my biltong stolen all over again.
And we have a couple more Kubies coming up with Aries in the future. I'm excited for that. I'm going to get the whole set in Ultim.
Yeah,
Robobot 3.
I was looking for some Ultim there, but it's with me not getting all the way around, I didn't see much.
Yeah. Ultim, I'm sure last year's Blade show is when Ultim was really big.
Yeah.
Not a spike, Rolf. We're looking at a thorn and a rockhopper. But Ultim is not as big now. What's up, homie?
I am doing exactly what I was doing with Americans and with Harleys. No, wait, Harleys are still the same. I still don't like them. But with your Ultim, I've never had one. I've never felt one, but I just like giving you ideas about it.
I know. It don't bother
That's
me,
all
man.
it is.
One of these days with Fish and Wildlife, that's the only material we're going to get around to send.
Yeah, they'll can some bamboo as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the
You'll
story
still
is.
get him. You'll still get him.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I'll still buy.
I was worried that they were gonna claim it for smoking. Eh?
That would be one hell of a smoking price to pay.
Yeah, but
Oh yeah, Gareth would love our bikes, Caleb. Gareth would ride my bike, and he'd never want to go back.
You're 100% right. I'd love to ride that Indian of yours. So,
All you got to do is come over. You can ride all the bikes.
I'd never liked Harleys, and maybe it was instinctual, if you want to put it that way, or I learned it from my dad, but I'd never liked Harleys, and I was running a bike shop for a while, and a guy traded in a Harley. Okay, granted, it was a Sportster, the 883. But the one
So
day,
important.
yeah, the one day, I had the bike there. I was allowed to ride it because I had to keep the battery on it charged. It was 7 hours or something to kill, so I thought, oh well, I'll go for a ride. It's 3 hours, 3.5 hours, or 3 hours out. Have something to eat, then 3 hours back. And I jumped on the Harley because I thought, how can I not like something that I've never ridden? And I thought, no, I'll go on that. Rode 20 kilometers, scraped half the bike away through the first couple of bends, turned around, hit the old road because it would be slower, and I would try not be tempted to go fast, which didn't work. The bends made it even more fun. Took the bike back, jumped on another bike, and went for my ride.
Well, that's what you get for thinking a Sportster's a Harley.
Yeah.
That's what we start the women on.
But that was just it, and that is exactly what I was thinking. Was you an 883, so that's not a small engine size. If you think about it, it's not a small engine size. If you think
If you're
it's
thinking
almost
in
like
terms of street bikes and such.
yes, yeah, but yet that thing, yeah, I wasn't happy. And you think such a big engine size and it went nowhere. It's like, that's not right. But yeah, I'd rather ride your Indian than the Harley.
yeah, such is life, guys.
And that's where the Benchmade conversation came in, where there's just really good marketing that's gone into that bike. And same with Benchmade. It's you don't see the value in that as a standard knife. I can't see it. When you can compare that to something like, or what I was carrying today,
Yes.
that's cheaper than that.
Yes.
Both the same blade
So
steel.
much better built though.
Yeah.
From the factory.
And you don't, yes, you want to play around with this just purely because you can. It's not because it needs it.
No,
You want
no,
you've got
you want to
stuff.
accessorize it just because you can make it yours.
Yeah.
The other,
No.
whereas Benchmates, you have to take them and you have to accessorize them before you even like them.
And that's what we were saying with the Harleys, myself and DBD in a conversation with where you
We
they,
know buying a Harley that we are going to drop several $1,000s into it to make
yeah,
it what we want.
and the quality on the Harley straight out the factory isn't the greatest. It's not. Because they know, and this is the same thing that we were saying. They know you're going to spend to get the Screaming Eagle pipe. You're going to spend to get this. You're going to change this. You're going to change that. So why should they go and put the best quality on it
When you're just going to scrap it.
when you're going to scrap it?
Yeah, the other thing that I think with the Americans and Harley, it's patriotism, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, it absolutely is. A big part of it's patriotism. And Harley has built up an American aura over the years
Yeah,
as the American bike and the bike of the American biker. And the
yeah,
American biker culture is what sells bikes. And Harley got the American biker culture on board early on because there was no more Indian. Harley was the last of the American bikes.
yeah.
And so it's what everybody bought and started riding. And, that's where choppers came from. And that built the demand for bikes. And so Harley still has that aura as the American made, the bike, when now Indians made here too, and they're doing a much better job of it.
Yes,
So we need to thank Harley for bringing so many people into.
Sure.
We need to thank Harley for bringing so many people into the whole thing, into
Yeah,
bike.
that now Indian can take over.
Yes.
Yeah. The quality on my Indian is the difference between it and my Harley is like, honestly, it's like comparing a Ford to a Bugatti.
Yeah.
And the difference in quality, fit and finish, technology, everything. But I'm not gonna lie, the Harley's still the one I ride more.
Yeah.
That's the one that I've made super loud, and there's nothing like the feel of riding a big loud Harley.
Do people change the Indians as much as what they do the Harleys, or do they just change less on the Indian?
There is less that you need to change on the Indian.
Okay.
Quite a bit less. I mean, you still have people that want to push them and pull the most performance out of them, of course, and we'll do a new chip on them. And but really, a chip and exhaust is all you have to do, because all the performance, all the stuff that you would put into a Harley is already on the Indian.
Yeah. Has it true? Has
And
it market?
Caleb, I have a 22 Challenger Dark Horse is my Indian. So the Challenger is the big bagger, the fixed bearing bagger, and then the Dark Horse is Indian's like racing line. So I've got the most powerful Indian that they were making, and the quality is definitely night and day between it and my Harley. But maintenance wise, the Indian's easier because it's one hole for everything. But my Harleys, they don't leak like they used to. I don't have any maintenance issues. The maintenance between the two bikes is the same pretty much, but the Indian, just everything about it, the brakes, the suspension, the motor technology, everything, it's like a 20-year technology leap over Harley.
So they've taken all the newest technology and implemented it into their bike.
Yes, where Harley is still running pretty much the same technology as they did on the first V twins, damn near.
That was the cause of, well, one of the main causes of the British motor industry's failure. And fortunately, Harley's got the, like you say, the patriotism and all of that as well. But the British were very good at, say, Norton or BSA. They would build a bike, and then that bike was good when it first came out,
They
but then they
never
wouldn't change
expanded.
it. They, they,
Yeah.
they, they, they never changed it. They left it like that. Oh,
Yes,
no, what?
they ran if you got one towards the end, a Norton, it was very similar to one from 30 years before it.
Yeah, they never felt that, oh, why fix what's not broken? But it's not what's not broken, it's what's moved up in the world. It's how things have
Yeah.
progressed.
Yeah, things change. You got to change
And,
with the times.
and the British were very stubborn with that sort of stuff. That's why you don't see much of their stuff out anymore, because they wouldn't change. So that's what they had, and that, yeah. I like all the old classics. I used to race in the classic series and all of that. I've won that championship here a couple times. But it was always just okay. I had a Honda 350 that I was racing, but I used to love coming past those Nortons and the Tritons and the BSAs and the as I'm passing them.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, I grew up on the tank of a BSA. My former stepdad, he raced dirt oval with BSA, and I grew up racing on a dirt oval. But yeah, the first bike I ever remember going around anywhere on was riding on the tank of a BSA.
So when I got to ride that Harley, I was actually running the Royal Enfield dealership here, which are made in India.
Yeah.
But they fuel injected, and they when I first started there, I thought, okay, this isn't my sort of bike. I think I might get very Teo. Sorry, what's wrong? Okay, come say hello to everyone, and then out you go.
Hi, Dale.
He's looking very tired.
How are you, sweetheart?
Good.
Good to see you, Dale. Thank you for saying hi to everybody.
Say hi, Teo.
Hi.
Are you getting ready for bed?
Yep.
Nope.
Yep. It's great that you're there. Like you go. I love you.
Good night, sweetheart.
What are you still doing up?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know it's starting to get late over there.
Yeah. Actually,
It's
behave.
getting to bedtime. Listen
Yeah.
here, guys. As a matter of interest, how do I join your group?
You got to get a tattoo, and you have to take at least 3 people out. And
to become a if you mean like to become a member of Kripple Krew,
Yeah.
that is just that's the YouTube membership. If you click join on my YouTube channel, or like in the comments where there's a little dollar sign, you can click on that to become a member of the channel.
I can talk you through it.
Yeah, we'll talk some one night
Yeah.
per week. We'll talk through it.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
You've been having good times and so
Absolutely. And
you know,
I know it's getting late for you and it's time to run to wind it down. But before that, I want to thank you for coming on again and talking about your blade show experience with us. And I'm glad it went well enough that you definitely already bought your spot for next year so that we can see you out there. But I really appreciate you giving us your time, Francois.
no, it's no problem. By giving you my time, I'm putting my name out there as well, eh?
Sure.
So it's
And
a win-win situation.
And I'll make sure everybody knows about the knives on African Customs for sure.
No, thanks a lot.
And we'll definitely have to do this again in the future. Get back together.
When I've come with with a Persian, then we can talk on it and
Yeah,
things like
we'll
that.
take a look at the Persian. We'll take a look at the War Room knife if it's still there.
Hey, it was so funny. When Francois was going to come over to America, I was meant to go there a week before to Richards Bay, where he is. Actually, it was more than a week, but it got postponed until some parts arrived. And then I messaged him, "Hey, I'm coming through on Tuesday. When you leaving?" "No, Tuesday." Ah. So I think he was driving one way while I was driving the other way.
It was like something like that, yeah.
Hey, Rolf,
It
I
was an awesome-
will get them ordered today, and I should have DVD stickers by next week.
Yeah, it was an awesome trip. I really enjoyed it. So, how did Schwarzenegger say? "I'll be back."
Well, I'm glad to hear it, and I look forward to seeing what's on the table in person next year.
No, it's
Does
fine.
anybody have any questions before we wind this down and let gentlemen go to bed?
What's that?
If anybody has any questions for Francois or any insults for Gareth, now's your time to get them in.
I promise
Or
I
the other
won't
way
look.
around, whichever way you feel. But
Yeah.
um,
Thanks, guys. It was enjoyable chatting to you guys. Thanks to all the listeners on the quiet. It was
Yeah.
enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed the chat.
yes,
Sorry,
thank
I
you
was
everybody for hanging out, and thank you as well, Gareth. I appreciate you, brother.
No, anytime. You know that. Just yeah, if there is anybody that wants to do any reviews on that, that knife that's coming over, just catch me on Instagram, and we can try and make it happen as well.
I would love to check it out.
I know you will.
And everybody, keep an eye out for videos on the TRM tag along, because we will be giving this away soon from TRM. Shout out to TRM and thank them. And I really appreciate their support. I hope everybody has a killer rest of your weekend, and don't forget to support everybody else that goes live on Saturdays and Sundays. I'll
No.
catch you guys in the chats. Until then, stay safe, stay frosty, and most importantly, everybody, stay deadly.